Just bought Deadside or thinking about it? This ultimate beginner's guide will give you a head start and the essential knowledge to catch up fast, especially since the game has already been out on console for a couple of weeks now. First up, building your base. So you want to build your first base. The first thing to do is equip your knife, go to the nearest tree or bush and start knifing. Once you have a decent amount of branches, you can start your base. Go into the crafting menu under base and create a hammer. Once you've made a hammer, you can build your first foundation. Next up, craft the storage. But remember, this is not any normal storage. This is only used to put in branches, planks or metal. Basically anything that is related to your base. If you want to put anything else, store items, you will need to create a branch container. We've already made a small base here, but it's important to note that you can only have one storage in your base. You cannot have two, it can only be one. And if someone gets to that storage, they can take control of your whole base by pressing X, holding that button and then putting their name into the allowable list. So make sure you hide this storage well, it's the most important part of your base. Let's talk about location. Do not make your base near Zarya, Lumovo or Maryak. This is a very common spawning location for new people and it's just really annoying when you have constant people spawning near your base. Rather, try moving further into the map away from the spawn location, you will have an easier time. Adding on to that, it's really difficult to make your bases near the star missions or anywhere near established structures, so try to move away from them. A bonus tip for you guys. Water bases. You can build a base in shallow water by placing foundations until you're far enough in. This makes it nearly impossible to raid, as only the locked door is accessible. Destroying it will literally take thousands and thousands of bullets. If you have a metal wall, it will take 12,000 bullets. The reasoning behind this is because you're swimming, you cannot interact with the side of the base, which means you cannot put dynamites or charges onto the walls, so you literally only have bullets. Well, now let me show you how our base looks like currently. Now I know it's not the best looking wise, but it has not been raided yet. Many people have tried, they've got through maybe a wall or two, but never fully in. As you can see, our main storage room is fully metal plated, the roof, the walls and the door, everything. We have guns, more guns and even more guns, and even special guns such as the grenade launcher, and I'll show you specifically a bit later in the video how to get that. Almost any piece in your base can be upgraded from branch to plank to metal. To be able to upgrade from a branch to a plank structure, you need planks and nails. Well, to be able to make planks, you first need logs, which are gathered by hitting a tree with an axe. You will also need nails. Nails are found almost anywhere on the map. However, there's one specific location called Yanta. If you go there, you can easily find around 100 or more nails per run, and they spawn quite frequently. Now, to be able to actually make planks, you will need a wood plane and a generator. Both of them require spare parts and scrap metal. Honestly, don't look up loot runs to get spare parts or anything. If you just go to big PUIs, you will find them. Or, like we did, just loot bases. Otherwise, I like to go to this specific area here. It's usually really packed with a lot of loot, including a lot of ammo, nails, scrap metal, anything that your heart might desire. On the way to any destination, make sure to loot these scrap piles. They have a lot of scrap and rebars that is required to upgrade your base. Also loot any machines or cars that you see on the way. They also provide you with the same kind of stuff. Now that you have all the parts necessary, craft the generator, the wood planer, and go ahead and make some planks. Fuel you can find in that same military base scattered all over. You'll have more than enough. Make sure while your generator is running to start your metal planer to make sheet metal from scrap metal. You might want to consider putting in knives or really worn out guns into the metal planer, because that will give you extra scrap, one per item, which then allows you to create more sheet metal. Make sure to upgrade your base as soon as possible. Do not leave it just branch, as those can be broken down with just knives or axes. Also, if you don't want to make a door but a gate, then make sure that you upgrade the scaffolds. This is that small little area in between. You will have to upgrade them, otherwise if they break, the whole gate breaks. Now let's talk about beds. Beds are really important. Leave them everywhere. In any important location, leave a bed or leave a couple of them, as people can break them. They can act as a pseudo fast travel, i.e. if you do die at some point, you can respawn at any one of them. But just remember, as you die, you will lose everything that was on you, and if you spawn really far away from your body, you won't be able to get it back. So make sure to leave anything important in chests or in your base before you use this option. For all my solo players out there, this is a great tip for you. If you don't want to make a base because it's quite difficult to do it alone, especially when raids happen and it's a 3v1 or 4v1, then utilize these two safe zones. They have a shared storage unit where you can input any item you want and it will be safe, only you can access it. Any other items that you might have you want to sell, you can sell to these traders and they will then give you some amount of money. That money then can be used to buy other equipment, whatever you want, and even if you die you don't lose it. However, to buy the good stuff you need to increase your reputation rank. You can increase it by selling scrap metal, for example, to the weapon trader, or there's a wandering trader that sometimes appears randomly on the map. You'll see a notification on the top left, the wandering trader appeared. You can go to him, sell him stuff like watches and cigarettes, and each of them will give you 10 reputation points. Now let's get on to some essential game mechanics. Any piece of equipment in the game can be dismantled using RT or R2. And you get 2 rags per item. However, if there's an item inside a piece of clothing, you can access it by either tearing it up, as you can't actually pick it up without dropping what you're currently wearing, or you can use the right stick by moving it down to the bottom options. Empty out anything inside, and now you can either tear it up or wear it. Now bags work a bit differently. You cannot store another bag inside one that you're currently wearing. You would have to drop that one first to pick up a new one. The biggest bag you can get has around 16 slots, and is the only piece of equipment that you have that allows you to store other pieces of clothing and weapons. You can find different attachments for your guns around the map, and if you find a weapon mounted flashlight, you hold D-pad right and select the option on the top right to turn the flashlight on. Helps out at night because the nights can be really dark. If you're wearing a jacket or a ghillie suit with a hood, you can then choose the option on the top left by holding D-pad right to put on that hood. However, if you're wearing a helmet, this will not work. This option here will reduce the game sounds and increase your actual in-game chat to be able to hear your teammates better. If you turn the microphone option on, your mic will be constantly on, otherwise you will have to hold options. Then of course the bottom option is to stow away your weapon. The next tip is about windows. Make sure to only put windows on high places. Try to avoid windows at ground level, as there is a way to enter them. Even though you can't vault them, you can do this jump, run and crouch tactics. Is where you jump and crouch at the same time. That allows you to get onto the ledge and enter through any window. If you do make a window on ground level, make sure to lock it. If it's enabled in the server, make use of the third person mode by pressing the right stick down. This will allow you to look through windows and even round corners, giving you that more of a peripheral vision. And if you do aim in with your gun, you still go into first person camera, so it's easier to shoot. Any bike or car you find out there has a separate storage. Utilize that storage to put in stuff if in case you are full and you don't have any inventory space anymore. This will allow you to take more stuff back to your base if you're out there in a loot run. However, make sure to put in a vehicle lock on your car if you do so, because I can't count how many times our car our bike has been stolen with full loot because we didn't put a lock on it. Next up is jumping. If you stand near a ledge that is just one wall high, if you double press the jump button, you'll be able to go and mantle that. This is quite important, especially during raids when you want to access areas that look out of reach. You can very often just mantle it as long as it's one wall high. Let's get onto the map icons. First ones you see around the map are these red mission areas. They range from epic to easy, so the one with the star is the hardest one, and they are difficult. The bots are lethal sometimes. Sometimes they're dumb, but they are lethal. So those are really difficult, and then it goes down from there. Next up are these drop zones. I honestly believe they are not that great. They're easy to get, no bots around them. However, if they're really far away, do not bother. If they're close by, go pick them up, but the loot is not that great. Next up are these red circles with the boat inside. So someone is currently raiding someone else's base. As soon as you break a wall or any structure around the base, this base icon will appear if you're not registered onto the control unit. As soon as I see these, I go drop my stuff in my base, take a couple of guns with me and go check it out. Usually, if you're lucky enough, you can third party, kill whoever's trying to loot, and then take all of the loot for yourself. This is very lucrative just because it takes a lot of explosives to get through a metal door, for example. So if someone's done that for you, you kill them, you take whatever you can, you get out of there. It might be a really big haul for you guys. Now this briefcase mission here is also an event that might happen anywhere on the map, and for how difficult it is, I don't think the loot is that great. I'd rather do a star mission, but basically there's a lot of bots outside around someone who's carrying a briefcase and you have to kill everyone. But because it's outside, you have less cover. It becomes so much harder to kill all of these bots because they have aimbot. They start shooting you from a kilometer away and it's quite ridiculous. The last one is these helicopter crash sites. I don't think any of these events are that useful, but this one out of all of them is probably the best. It's quite easy to do. There's still a couple of bots around the helicopter crash site, but they're easy to kill, so definitely go for it. You sometimes get some dynamite or these bunker keys, a couple of dog tags to sell to the bottom trader. So go and have a look and try to get this done. If it's close by, I wouldn't go out and travel 6 kilometers for it. Quick note on these bunkers, I would say stay away from them. With the new update, they'll update these bunkers. Currently, they're just too difficult and you don't get anything for it. There's like 3 turrets in there for 3 dynamites maybe and 2 explosives. It's not really worth it. It is the prime location to find military electronics that are required to craft certain items in the game. If you want to see a part 2, maybe something about advanced features or how to raid bases, let us know down in the comments below and we'll get to it. Also keep an eye out, we will be releasing a video very soon where we start naked near a military base and we'll show you how to get kitted out. I mean weapons, armor, bags, anything that you need. So make sure you're subscribed, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. And that's it. If you have any more questions, let me know down in the comments below. I've tried to answer them. I'll see you in the next one.